live and direct with another edition of what we call Fusion Radio with Brian Stinson and YTS Keys, man. My brother, man, my partner in crime, man, is out today on today's show, man. But, man, look, the guests keep coming, and, you know, I love every bit of it. So, man, look, this one right here, let me tell you. Fun thing is when you can talk with the guests before the show, have so many different conversations, laugh at least minimum one time. You know it's going to be a good interview, man. I almost feel like we did the interview before we brought it to the radio and brought it to you guys live on Facebook Live. Search up Brian Stinson and YTS Keys. So who am I talking about, man? I'm talking about my brother, man, Gilty, who's in the building, man. He is the CEO of Black Shark Protective Services, man. So doing something a little bit different. I know you guys are always used to us having artists and everything, but here we are, an entrepreneur, man, doing a lot of things and doing something that actually is something that we can absolutely utilize in these times that we're living in. So excited about sharing him with you, and especially you, man. So welcome to a Fusion Radio, Gilty.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much.
All right, so before we get into anything, I can hear some people saying on Facebook Live and on the radio, did you just say the man's name was Gilty?
That is correct. That is my name, Gilty.
All right, so, man, when you first found out that your name was Gilty and you were growing up and everything, like, did it make you want to sort of go into the origins as to why my last name is Gilty? And then the next thing after you answer that is it's not spelled the way that we know Gilty as. So go into the whole thing about what your feeling was with that. Was somebody, you know, drunk or something? They forgot to add a letter or something? Or what was going on?
No, what it was is an ancient name out of slavery. It was a Frenchman's name, Gilty, and it was spelled Gulty. And then down in the century, that's how my family spelled it. But my father, when he went to the military, my father changed it and dropped the U. So it made us instinct and different from everybody else. So he changed it, dropped the U, and our name is Gilty. Same family with the one family members with U in it. Only different is we don't have a U in our name, so it makes us different and sounding like outside to everybody else. But when it's family, we're family still.
So before we get into this whole movement with Black Shark Protective Services, man, give me a little bit of background information on you, and then we'll get into what Black Shark Protective Services is all about.
Well, I am a retired law enforcement, or how they say, a first responder. I was a police officer for 26 years. I have training in different things, as in firearms, from drugs to making them force in all state and federal laws. And after a while, I got tired. My father always told me, when it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. And one process, while I was in law enforcement, I decided I need to build my own brand, my own name. So I chose Black Shark Protective Service. And people always ask me, why Black Shark? Why the shark? Because everybody knows there's a mystery to a shark, and they have spending all these money how to study a shark. So I chose to be a shark.
So let's go into, man, the different services that Black Shark Protective Services offers.
Well, the first offers is I do executive protection or dignitary protection, escort protection. I am a part of, I'm contracted out to different facilities, different state reps, government officials, because of the skills I know and I'm qualified with. And then also, I am a teacher. I teach defensive shooting. I teach concealed carry, and I teach all different types of ways how to build your fan base up, how to protect yourself, even in your own home. And then because we have all these shootings going on in churches, I also have to teach how to build your church up in church security, and a response team also.
So let's go into, man, and I think you sort of did it, man, is if you could further build on why there's such a need for the type of services that you provide.
Well, the first thing is, why is the need? Because the devil is busy, plain and simple. There's a lot of people out there is defenseless. And they always say, I can't do this, I can't do that. Fear makes you do a whole lot of things you do not want to do. But you got to understand this. You're not just protecting yourself, but you're protecting your family. And for 26 years, when my hands was tied and I couldn't defend or help somebody because the laws tell me I couldn't, now because I'm not in law enforcement now, I can share the same training and the secrets to help you protect yourself, your church, or your family.
All right, so let's build on that, man. Do you provide concealed to carry training for the state of Illinois only?
Yes, not only just Illinois, but also in Utah, and I'm also working in the state of working for the state of Florida to get my license in.
Wow. So take us through that whole experience as far as the training that you provide, man. I know we're on radio and we're a little bit on visual with Facebook Live, man, but take us through, what is something that a prospective person that wants to take that class would go through.
Well, the first thing I do is I always tell them the first day of class is your first day because this is the time you are not going to be a victim anymore. You're going to survive whatever comes your way. And everybody always thinking of concealed carry as teaching people how to kill. No, I don't teach people how to kill. I'll keep it real. I teach them how to stop a threat, period. Because it's your life or theirs. And I'd rather for me to go to court and defend you because you did the training and then go through the state laws and everything and defend yourself. I don't have a problem with that. Once you go outside that scope and want to be a vigilante, you're on your own. State of Utah is totally different. Their laws are totally different from Illinois. You have to learn those laws over there, what you can and cannot do. In the state of Florida, what you can and cannot do. But I also teach my students, Illinois do not recognize nobody's considered carry outside of the state of Illinois. You got to understand that. Because if you're in the state of Indiana, you come to Illinois, you can get charged for a UUW. Illinois does not recognize anybody. So it's best to always get other states that you can go over the state line with and be recognized with your considered carry when you have your weapon on you going somewhere.
So I want to build on you talking about, the different states and all that stuff. What's some things that maybe a couple of laws that may differ here from Illinois? Like give us some off your mind as far as Utah and then as far as Florida that one would need to know as far as key laws.
Key laws like things like what they do is people always figure if somebody on my porch, I can shoot through it. Like in Florida, they just shot through her door, killed an innocent person because she was standing up for herself. How do you stand up for yourself on a blocked door? You're on the other side of that door. You was already secure. Stand your ground. How you standing your ground when you're as an innocent person on the other side of that door that can't not reach you? You're already protected. In the state of Illinois, we have a similar law, but they don't call it stand your ground. My thing is, I've even teachers in my class. I had one on a call before, and the guy shot the person and drug him back in the house and said he was on my property. Well, sorry, you didn't do that right because one, I was driving up the street, and two, I saw you drag him in the house, and three, there's a blood trail all the way from the yard to your house. So, no, you didn't protect yourself. You was mad because he kicked in your door and you had to spend over $200-something for a door.
Wow. So how long has your brand, Black Shark Protective Services, been around?
Almost over 30 years.
Whoa, that's major, man. So like in the beginning and then up until now, what's some things that you learned being a CEO of your own business that, someone that might want to start something similar or just start a business in general needs to know?
First, you have to have the heart for it. That's number one. You have the heart. You have to have the heart to defend people. You have to have the heart to learn how to teach people. You have to have the heart to be a protector, period. That's not given to you. You're born with it. And some people become cops that way. It's a paycheck for them. But then you have those who have the heart, who would give their own life to save others. Those the ones are rare and in between.
Wow. Sitting here talking, man, with a really dope person, man. Gilty, man. He's the CEO of Black Shark Protective Services, man. And those of you that's out here, man, young or old, man, you know that we living in some difficult times where, man, you definitely want to have the proper training, the proper knowledge when it comes to defending yourself. So, man, what's a day-to-day role for you or roles for you when it comes to your business with Black Shark Protective Services?
The day-to-day life is making sure, one, I keep an eye on my students. Every once in a while, they give me a call and ask me certain questions. Can I do this? Would I do this? I'm like, no, that's not what you was taught. Also, I make sure I build their courage up. Sometimes, like when we go do the training part, we're doing step by step with laws, all the things that you can and cannot do. And then we have some fun with it. I tell them, whatever question that you heard from the TV or the YouTube, bring it to me so we can talk about it in class. And I can tell you, yeah, you can do this, or no, you can't do that. Or I just tell you, that's just TV. Don't pay that no attention. There's a lot of instructors out there who are disserving their students. I'm not getting into that because I have told one instructor before, when you get through teaching them that consider carry class and you pass them because you're not following by state standards, and I don't get into that. But I said, your students are going to be coming looking for me later because I'm going to make sure they are qualified and they also know exactly what they're into.
So I want to build on that as far as the class and all that stuff. What's the length when we talk to weeks that we're talking about when we talk with a class, and then the hours that we're looking at?
Well, the state standard is 8 hours. 8 hours for class, and then if you add other states, that's another total of 16 hours. And you got built on that. There are sometimes, if it happens, if I have to do a week class, that means I'm breaking it down to 16 hours down into a week. And that will be still state standard, because then the last day would be classwork. The classwork will be on the range, where we learn gun safety, how to respect the gun and the range, and others.
That's what's up, man. Fusion Radio, Brian Stinson, YTS Keys, man. He's out today. You got me solo, man, carrying on Fusion Radio, man. Really dope interview right now with CEO of Black Shark Protective Services, Gilty. He's in the building, man. So this is the time where I really want to get into, man, like accomplishments throughout this span, man. 3 decades. Clap it up to you, man, for that accomplishment, man. Some accomplishments along those 3 decades that you're proud of.
Thank you. Well, my thing is, like I said, my thing is my heart is in the protecting folks, people, period. Doesn't matter what nationality, what religion you are. My job is to make sure you understand that you can protect yourself. The Second Amendment, but I also teach in my class that the Second Amendment wasn't meant for black people, wasn't meant for minorities in to begin with. And you got to understand that. You got all these radical groups out there, they want to tear us down, they want to build laws to keep you from defending yourself. But you got to be smart about it. Just because they're doing something stupid, that don't mean you're supposed to do it. We have to think before we act.
What's some goals that you have set? I know you've been around for 3 decades, but maybe some new goals that you have set for your business.
My new goals is right now to be the next black-owned shooting and center, defensive shooting center for people to go to, and also to nurture and help build up being a shooting counselor for others that want to become shooting instructors.
Wow, man. Clap it up, man. So, man, social media-wise, because, you know, we're in a social media era, man, like, how can people, like, build more on this conversation that we're having and get more details into, you know, what you're doing, man, as far as Black Shark Protective Services?
My thing is learn from everybody. You can learn something from everybody. You can take that, build off of that, and build your own brand. But you first gonna have to have the idea and the heart for it. If people tell you that you can't do it, that should be the spark to make sure you know what you're doing, that you are capable of doing what you say you're gonna do. Like I said before, it's your heart. And also, if you're a religious person, it's your background, it's your faith. But it starts with you first. If you didn't get it when you was a kid, sooner or sometime your survival skills will build, and that's how you work.
No doubt, man. So on Facebook, on Instagram, where do they go to find out more information about Black Shark Protective Services?
On Instagram, it's Black Shark Protective Service, just the name of the company. On Facebook, it's Black Shark, or you can go by on Facebook by my name, Celeste Gilty. And either one of those will put you on there. And also on YouTube, we're on as Black Shark on there, where I teach children's safety, which the first child on there as children's safety, I'm teaching my own daughter how to protect herself and how to be safe.
Well, man, I want to definitely salute you, man, for all the great work, man. 3 decades. I'm just still sitting here taking that in, man. 3 decades is dope, man, of dope work that you're doing and empowering us, man, to be able to protect ourselves in the proper way.
No problem, man. But see, my thing is, they says, well, I don't want to come to the city. Okay, but I said, one place is till I do have my center built. We in my church. And there's nowhere safer than being in the church. So my class capacity is 20. All I need is 5 just to start my class. I can build off of 5. If I have 4, then I can build off of 4. But once we hit the classroom part, we can laugh, we can joke, we can have fun. But once we hit the range, that's a whole different monster right there, because I'm a whole different person. I have a 100% safety record. I like to keep it. I make sure you understand that guns, you treat all guns as loaded. I tell people all the time, make sure you have gun locks, gun safety, gun vaults, whatever you need to protect yourself, not only yourself, but your children, because there's too many children shooting themselves with your gun because you was careless. And I learned that as a young age. My dad was a police officer. My dad had guns everywhere. But he also taught us how to stay away from guns. And as I became one, I did the same thing. If I made a mistake and took my gun rig off and set it down somewhere, my baby wouldn't go near it, but she would come find me to make sure I put it up so she can be safe.
Right. Wow, man. Clap it up again to you, man. My brother, man, Gilty, man, in the building, man. Dope conversation about Black Shark Protective Services. Those of you that might want to reach out, man, and everything, and be a part of one of those classes, man, and further educate yourself, man. Once again, give them the information on how they can do that.
You can go on, you can dial the number 773-814-8733. That is my direct office number. There you can get all the information, or you can call me, go on email me at info@Black Shark Protective Service, and service spelled svc.com, and you can also go on my website.